This year has only just begun, but Europe has already broken an alarming number of heat records as winter loses its cool. At least 8 countries have recorded their warmest January day ever on New Year's Day. And just last summer, record-breaking and dangerous heat broiled Great Britain. Let's go ahead and bring in meteorologist Elisa Raffa to break down a new report that was just released today.
Yeah, this report details how global temperatures just keep getting warmer.
It's as a scientist, meteorologist and climate scientists, this is not surprising to us because we see the writing on the wall. Okay. We see the evidence. Every year we just keep breaking these records because our greenhouse gas emissions are going up and our climate is continuing to warm. The European Union, their version of what the National Weather Service and the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration is, their version of that released their numbers today on 2022 and how those temperatures were. And the headline is 2022 was the second warmest year on record in Europe, and it was the 5th warmest year on record across the globe. So when you look at the air temperatures, this is what we call the anomaly, or how much were they above or below average, right? Red being above average, the blue being below. You can see a lot of deep reds across Europe. The Arctic is the fastest warming place in the world, even across the U.S., lots of red. This blue that you see here is a La Nina cool pattern in the ocean circulation. So we expect that blue to be here, but the cool pattern doesn't even cool down the rest of the planet because it is just that red hot. When you look at the average annual global temperature going back to the 1960s, you can clearly see the trend, how much it's warmed. In fact, the last 8 years are the 8 warmest on record. Think about that. The last 8 years are the 8 warmest. We just keep breaking our records year after year. So 2022 was the 5th warmest on record globally. The last 8 are the last warmest. The average annual global temperature is 1.2 degrees C warmer than average, and that number is important because the Paris Agreement, all of our scientists and leaders decided by the science 1.5 is a threshold we do not want to get to. That's where a lot of those impacts become more extreme and more irreversible. The record heat persisted, like I said, despite the La Nina, and this was their hottest summer on record, and for a lot of countries in Europe, it was their warmest year period. Countries like Italy, Spain, France, their warmest year period. And again, the paper does include the increases in carbon dioxide, the increases in methane, both greenhouse gas emissions that do trap heat and are responsible for the warming temperatures. But the solution, the at least good part about this is we know the problem and we know the solution. We can cut our emissions and we can curb those emissions, and that will result in temperatures hopefully not making it to that 1.5 threshold if we cut back our emissions today. Guys.